Welcome traders, and this is the Dow on a 60-minute chart. So yeah, here is just wild and very volatile. So you need to be in a market like this. You need to be very flexible because you need to find the breakdown areas and then find the head and shoulders. Okay, today I bought in here. I got out a bit too early. I got this chunk here, then later in the day bought along and got in up there. So should have kept the first one on longer, but anyway, at least I got something out of it. Right, dailies. Let me just check what data we got tomorrow. Very little data, a lot of CAD data, CAD inflation. That's the main thing. So let's have a look at the CAD in a minute. But you can see we are just, after this Sunday open, ran up into resistance, and then we just spent 3 days in this box. I mean, looks the fact that the lows are getting bought, albeit yeah, slightly lower lows and at the moment slightly lower highs. While we're in a range, just trade it, and that's a big push up there. So tomorrow, something like 250, 300 could see us retest the highs. Who knows? And so let's just check what the market's doing on the other indices. Nasdaq is right at that 127 extension. Excuse me. And the S&P's closed slightly higher. The FTSE has been struggling. Well, that's due a bounce. That's a massive trend line there on the FTSE. Hammerlight bar off of a trend line. You can see a very, very technical chart here. We are right coming in an apex. Where do I think we're going to go? Somewhat dependent on the Dow. There's a bit of a double bottom going on here at the moment. Two little lows there. If we can close above that hammer, then we could retrace and possibly go higher. But this fail here, keep closing under here, then I think we've got no option but to slide. The fact the US is holding up, I think the US could drag that FTSE up, but we've got all the moving averages above us. So at the moment that is extremely weak. Dollar pairs, euro, just clinging on. 840 is a major resistance. That might be an area you might want to short. Pound just clinging on to 165. Just looking weaker. I think we could come and retest this 163.50 at least, if not lower. So pullback is shortable. Yen pairs, and the pound yen is just sitting inside yesterday's bar, but we're support underneath us, resistance above, so that needs a decision. And the euro yen is closed lower than the previous 2 days, so that's weak. Alright, and look at oil. I think oil isn't. You can see the boxes I've put there were range bound below the 50 and the 200, so it does not look good at the moment. If we close above the box, or either way, whichever way we close above around that box is the direction potentially for the short term. But we have, again with this one, we have all the moving averages above us. So I'm not holding out much hope for this one at the moment. The highs are sold, and that could come down to 95, 96. Grains. I need a pullback in these grains. We're up the 127 extension, sitting on the 200. High RSI, I need a pullback. Beans have had a pretty good day, but sold off at the highs. The gold is sitting right on that fib support. with a 15-200 cross down there, so that could lift up from here. But the dollar is seeing some strength, hence the reason why the euro and the pound dollar are weak. Let's look at some stocks. BlackBerry, sideways. I'm actually in this, just I've got I'm about, that's about 940 is my entry point, so I'm just narrowly above the neckline on my account. Goldman's had a good day, that's higher. Would I buy that? Yes, I would actually. I think Goldman's is a buy at 168.75. Let's see if we get back up to the highs. Star Scientific is lower. Quite a lot of green on the charts. Let's have a look at Baidu. Nope, that's fallen out of the picture. Let's see what happens if we come and test 153. Make America getting a run. Okay, so the market's generally healthy as we go into Friday here. Okay, let's look at the CAD pairs. Sorry, back to Forex for a moment. Let's just look at the CAD pairs. CAD yen is poised. If we break that high, that is poised, so that could do well. CAD Swissy. It's got a hammer and a close above. And the pound CAD. Pound CAD had a great run. Now we're very hesitant up there. Okay, leave it there and have a good trading day.